challenge its pounding hooves. A race to be won, not watched.
You know, word for word.
It's my favorite passage too, Pilsner. And I think you're right. I'll see you at dinner and a movie.
You mean it?
Sure I do.
Really?
Well, like you said, a woman really ought to make room in her life for a little excitement.
Hunter.
Sergeant Hunter, this is Sergeant McCall. Well, you better be afraid of me.
Just arrest the guy and let's go.
When you leave here, it'll be in pieces.
Hunter Behind Bars, next Saturday.
Do you know where you're going to? You will like the things that we are showing here.
Wherever you're going to, more people choose Thomas Cook than any other travel agent. We've got the widest range of holidays, including our very own, all at prices that can't be beaten. We've got foreign currency, our own credit card, and the latest technology to find the holiday that's just right for you.
Smile, look forward to all we plan. You can put your dreams in our capable hands. We're always there, of that you can be sure. To answer all those questions that you want answers for. Do you know where you're going to?
Don't just book it, Thomas Cook it.
Hey!
For our Damien, being a wally can be pretty hungry work. So what could be cooler at the end of the day than a steaming bowl of Heinz's minestrone soup? Heinz soup, it's the taste people hunger for.
The luxury car that does not evolve is the luxury car that will not survive. The future demands a more intelligent, more efficient, more responsive breed of car. The BMW 7 Series, the ultimate driving machine.
When Jeff's your cleaner, top dirt goes away so gently, and it shows. Your home has never been loved like this before.
There are times when every home needs the gentle cleaning power of Jif, because Jif is tough on stubborn dirt and is so gentle on delicate surfaces.
Your home has never been loved like this before.
If you want a cash card that also pays you interest, Halifax Card Cash, the one that gives you a little extra.
It's no good, Claude! We're still losing height!
No, Claude!
and an extra strong mint.
Anything wrong?
No, everything's fine.
Welcome back to butter.
Football is back on ITV tonight at 10:45, and we've got two fabulous ties from the third round of the FA Cup. There are goals and drama from first to last as we bring you the action from 2nd Division Grimsby Town as they take on 1st Division Arsenal, and then we go to the South Coast for Portsmouth flying high in the 2nd Division against Aston Villa. Two matches that between them produce no fewer than 11 goals. The big match is back with a vengeance at 10:45. Make sure you don't miss it.
This is LWT. Now we join the studios of ITN for the latest world news.
Violence flares up in Ulster. 23 policemen injured in Unionist demonstration. The rock star Phil Lynott dies after years on drugs. A grandmother and her 4 granddaughters are killed in a crash on black ice. And shocks in the cup as soccer returns to TV screens. Good evening. 23 police were injured in a violent Unionist demonstration in Belfast at the end of the Loyalist march against the agreement which gives Dublin a say in Northern Ireland. About 100 young Protestants, some masked, broke down the gates at the offices of the new Anglo-Irish Secretariat. They set fire to cars and threw stones at the police, who then baton-charged them.
A large-scale security operation was mounted around the perimeter of Maryfield, the headquarters of the Joint Secretariat which administers the Anglo-Irish Agreement. This was the target for the protest march which began in Londonderry 5 days ago. A protest which, in the words of the organisers, was meant to demonstrate with dignity the Unionists' total opposition to the London-Dublin Pact. A new gate coiled with barbed wire had been erected at Maryfield to keep the protesters out. A second line of defence was established by police in riot gear. The mass rally, attended by more than 2,000 people, started peaceably enough with speeches from the Unionist leaders, including Jim Molyneux, attacking the Anglo-Irish Agreement. But then a few people, some dressed in paramilitary uniforms, broke away from the main crowd and moved towards the gate. Although specially strengthened after similar treatment at the hands of protesters last month, the gate soon began to give way under the assault. Pleas from the platform for them to rejoin the rally proved fruitless. The stoning of the police increased in intensity as the gates eventually collapsed and a group of youths surged towards their lines. In the incidents which followed, more than 20 policemen were injured, and outside the gates, 2 police cars were set on fire. Earlier in the day, full police honours were given for the funeral of 24-year-old Reserve Constable Michael Williams in Portadown. He was killed by an IRA bomb 1 minute into the new year. The IUC warned today that further ruthless attacks by the IRA are now imminent and urged the public to be vigilant. David Chater, ITN, in Northern Ireland.
The rock star Phil Lynott, former singer with the Thin Lizzy band, has died 11 days after being taken to a drink and drug addiction clinic. He was rushed there on Christmas Day by his wife Caroline, who's the daughter of Leslie Crowther. Lynott was later moved to Salisbury Infirmary, where a spokesman today said the 35-year-old singer died from heart failure and pneumonia. Irish-born Lynott started a solo career in 1984 after more than a decade with Thin Lizzy. He had a string of convictions for drug offences. If an inquest finds the habit played a part in his death, he'll be one of many rock stars killed by drugs. In 1969, Brian Jones, the Rolling Stones guitarist, drowned under the influence of drugs. The following year, the American singer Janis Joplin died from heroin. A month later, drugs killed guitarist Jimi Hendrix. And in 1978, Keith Moon, the Who drummer, died from a mixture of prescribed drugs and alcohol. A grandmother and 4 of her granddaughters have died in a car crash on black ice in Devon. The girl's mother is critically ill. The father, who was driving the car, was unhurt. It happened on the A373 North Devon Link Road near Tiverton. Their Ford Sierra was one of 4 vehicles involved. A police helicopter took the injured to hospital in Exeter. Police have reported dozens of accidents across the country caused by the bad weather. The RAC say ice is making roads dangerous and there are more freezing temperatures forecast for tonight. The Defence Secretary, Mr Heseltine, today won new support in his battle to keep Westland helicopters in European hands. Lord Gregson, President of the Defence Manufacturers Association, says jobs depend on Britain controlling its own defence companies. Mr Heseltine was at home in Oxfordshire today, gearing up for a week when Westland is expected to hear whether the American Sikorsky Company is going to improve its rescue offer. Labour's defence spokesman, Mr Denzil Davis, has warned of serious implications in reports, one of them from the Pentagon, that President Reagan is thinking of using British-based American F-111 bombers to attack Libya. He says it would draw Britain into the conflict, and he's demanding immediate government action. Mr Reagan is said to be considering military reprisals for Libya's support of last week's terrorist attacks on Rome and Vienna airports.
The American fighters based here are F-111s, especially equipped for low-level nighttime raids, laser-guided bombs. Washington will have to tell us if they plan to use them, and Whitehall will apparently have no power of veto, but there would certainly be enormous diplomatic disquiet if an attack was launched on Libya from British soil. Meanwhile, American military movements continue. The aircraft carrier Coral Sea left Naples to join the fleet in the Mediterranean, and it's been revealed that American Navy planes flew there too on New Year's Day from their base in Washington. The Pentagon said they were on a classified exercise. And they claimed that as the jets flew over Norfolk, Virginia, they were monitored by a Russian trawler just off the coast. In Norfolk, other American warships are on alert, but it remains to be seen whether all this is just saber-rattling or not.
Italian police have issued photographs of the 4 men involved in the Rome airport attack in an attempt to trace their movements over the last few months. 3 of the men were shot dead by security forces. The 4th is recovering from gunshot wounds. America is expected to ask Moscow to set a date for talks on limiting the spread of chemical weapons. According to a report from Washington, the 2 countries may meet as early as next month to fix a date for the negotiations, which result from November's Geneva summit between Mr Gorbachev and President Reagan. In South Africa, 2 whites died today when their truck hit a landmine near the Botswana border. The mine on a farm in the northern Transvaal province killed a 55-year-old man and his 32-year-old daughter-in-law. It's the 8th landmine explosion in the past 6 weeks on the borders with black-ruled countries. 15,000 Colombians have been evacuated from their homes near the Nevado del Ruiz volcano, which buried the town of Armero when it erupted in November, killing 23,000 people. The volcano has started belching out ash for the first time since the disaster. Here, the Education Secretary, Sir Keith Joseph, has again ruled out any more government money this year to settle the teachers' pay dispute. He told the North of England Education Conference in Huddersfield the government simply won't buy peace without getting a better education service. Now sport. It's been a day when the bad weather meant that 9 third-round FA Cup matches were called off and when TV cameras were back covering football. Here's Jeremy Thompson.
The third round of the Cup lived up to its reputation for providing upsets, with 3 First Division sides going out, 2 of them at the hands of teams well beneath them in the league. Trevor Morgan scored 2 goals for Bristol Rovers, helping them to a 3-1 win over Leicester. Eric Young scored for Brighton in the first 50 seconds to set his side on the way to a 2-0 victory at Newcastle. And Coventry also went out, beaten at home by Watford. In a remarkable game at Ipswich, Greg Abbott saved Bradford City from defeat with a penalty in the 79th minute to make the final score 4-4. But the honours of the day went to Arsenal's Charlie Nicholas, who scored a hat-trick in a thrilling match at Grimsby to give the Gunners a 4-3 victory. Oxford's match against Spurs proved to be one of the best draws of the day, in every sense of the word. Against the afternoon snow, the white-shirted Spurs seemed almost invisible as Oxford applied all the early pressure. And after 9 minutes, Brock's free kick peeled open the defence for Slatter to head Oxford in front. Time and again, Oxford's quick-breaking wingers, Houghton and Brock, tormented Spurs' disorganised defence. The only casualty of the first half was referee Lester Shapter, apparently cut on the head by a missile thrown from the stands at the visitors' end. After the break, Spurs looked far more determined. Paul Allen's shot brilliantly parried by Judge, only for Waddle to fluff the rebound. Seconds later, Stevens squeezed in a cross, but once more Oxford just thwarted Allen's attentions. Then Hoddle let fly with a fierce volley, again met by the perfect Judge. By now it was real kick and slush cup football, but the snow gave way to rain. Just keeping your feet was the biggest problem. It was Spurs, though, who took to the water like ducks, and who better name than Waddle to provide the inspiration, Chidozie shooting only inches wide. Then 13 minutes from time, Waddle paddled down the wing again, and this time Chidozie headed right on target. Spurs' great cup fighting tradition had saved them once again. The other end of the scale, the Gola League's Frickley Athletic had a tough time against their near neighbours Rotherham, who were anxious to prove to the locals that they deserved their place in the 3rd Division.
It was the biggest day in the history of Frickley Athletic, a team from the Gola League in a derby against Rotherham of Division 3. Police thought there might be trouble, but it never came. The ground was packed, and visiting fans were not disappointed. Rotherham soon saw the first opening. And it wasn't long before a mistake by a Frickley defender gave Rotherham their second. A few minutes into the second half, Frickley fell even further behind from a corner. Then, stung by the Rotherham cries of victory, Frickley decided to fight back in the last 10 minutes to make it 3-1 by way of consolation. Phil Roman, ITN Sport, West Yorkshire.
But it was also the big day for the big match, ITV's big match, that is, as television went to cover soccer for the first time this season.
Grimsby's famous for fish, not football, but today the 2nd Division club basked in unaccustomed publicity with the return of television coverage after 6 months of football without cameras. It took 15 months of turbulent negotiation to clinch the £1.3 million deal that put football back on television. Grimsby's regulars still marched to the match, and with just 16 soccer weekends left this season, the fans were delighted.
We play football on a Saturday normally, and the only chance we get of seeing it really is on a night time or on a Sunday. And of course we've missed that.
I'm pleased to see it back. It'd be nice to sit tonight and watch the game or part of the game again tonight.
And I've always advocated that we should be advertising our product like every other sport, and I'm very pleased it's back.
The professionals say television's returned just in time for football.
I think there's no doubt it's suffered. I think it's suffered financially, very seriously. And I think, you know, if people get out of a habit of going to a game, it's very hard for them to be persuaded to come back again. I would say it's got back in just about the nick of time.
Grimsby found that without television coverage, fans lost touch with the game. The lesson of the last 6 months is commercial sponsorship and cash for clubs tails off when cameras aren't trained on the game. But today, double the normal gate saw Grimsby go down 4-3 to the Gunners with goals like this.
Not very far, and as far as Ricks, the keeper's out, and Ricks has equalised.
Ian Glover-James, ITN, Grimsby.
And that's the news and the sport this Saturday evening. From all of us here at ITN, good night.
.15 Sunday, Heather Locklear stars when panic hits the streets of a city.
He says he's going to blow the building at 11:30 sharp.
That's my building.
Don't panic, take it easy, come on.
Move those people out!
City Killer.
Now the weather. The evening and night will be cloudy at first with a period of rain which will be quite heavy at times, and there'll be a fresh southwesterly wind. The rain will clear around midnight and the temperature will fall quickly to around -1 degree Celsius, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, by dawn, giving a frost and some icy roads. Sunday will become cloudy with some rain or snow showers, perhaps giving a covering of snow on the higher ground, and the temperature will rise to only 3 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Fahrenheit, with generally light winds, and that's the weather. Next tonight, comedy in the best of Saturday Live, after the break.
Hello, New York, this is Mike in London again. Subsequent to our talk this morning, I want to confirm order 43967 and amend the invoice accordingly. Product test should take place this week. I'll confirm later today. Nick just called from Tokyo, ETA 10 a.m, TWA at JFK. Get him to ring the...
This man could spend longer calling New York and pay less. Get the BTI business box and find out how. Ring 0800 400 414.
Hello, BTI. I want one of those business boxes here as fast as you can. My company address is Rawton International, Rawton House, Great Queen Street, WC2B 5AR.
British Telecom International. We'll put you on the right lines.
If you enjoyed your Enterprise holiday in Pedro's 3-star hotel last summer, you'll be pleased to know that next summer with Enterprise there's a good chance you could stay in Don Carlos's 4-star hotel for even less. Oh, now, Pedro. Enterprise. One better.
Oh, Dad. Where's the night nurse?
The night nurse?
This. Night nurse cold remedy. Relieves tickly cough, sore throat, runny nose, headache, shivers, and so aids restful sleep. All in one little measure. There. Night nurse. All-in-one nighttime cold treatment from Beecham. Now in capsules, too.
Was all my joy.
We did the right thing, didn't we?
For once I think we did. Was my delight.
It means we can treat ourselves every month.
Every month, love. And this month, that's 2 nights at the Lakeside Inn.
National Savings Income Bonds give you a regular monthly income without touching your savings. And you can invest from £2,000.
What about next month?
Let's spend this month's first. And I have loved you oh so long, delighting in your company.
See my new 5-door Metro? Or went one better? Got it for the same price as a 3-door. From Austin Rover.
See this Maestro 1.6? I went one better. Got it for the same price as a 1.3 from Austin Rover.
On my Montego Van den Pla, I got alloy wheels, fuel injection, and leather seats. All this at no extra cost.
You can go one better with Austin Rover. Now we're motoring.
Make your mind up with style and class. Stay single-minded, right to the last. Gonna be there when they pour it out. Taste is what it's all about. Teddy's Pilsner, the golden rule. Teddy's Pilsner, fast and cool. Teddy's Pilsner, the taste to choose. The taste to choose.
Pickfords Travel are one of Britain's biggest travel agents.
Easy does it.
Whatever your travel needs, we'll carry them out.
Careful, my husband's feeling fragile.
So don't miss out on plunging holiday costs. No other travel agent can sell you a holiday cheaper than Pickfords Travel.
Hold me tighter, young man. I'm not made of china, you know.
Talk to the pick of the travel people. Pickfords Travel. Oh, left hand down a bit.
A brand new quiz next weekend. Catchphrase with Roy Walker. Can you guess this catchphrase? By picking up the pieces from the animated clues and guessing the catchphrase, big prizes can be won. Don't miss it next weekend. Next Saturday, Aspel Company, the show that's always offered a superb lineup of top guests. With this past record to live up to, it promises to be just as exciting in the brand new series, starting next Saturday at 9:45.
This is LWT. Now, some of the best of modern British comedy with Lenny Henry, Rick Mayall and many more in The Best of Saturday Live.
Saturday Live with Lenny Henry, Rick Mayall, Mel Smith, Adrian Edmondson, Chris Barry, Brenton Saunders, Robbie Coltrane, Chris Bryan, Parliament Dancer, Andy De La Tour, Raw Sex, Style Council, and Slade!
Is it live? Good evening! And hello to all you people who haven't got anything better to do on a Saturday night either. By the way, this is Saturday Live. My name's Lenny Henry. Do you like the set? Yeah. It's pretty nifty, isn't it? We were going to have all of the fairground here, but the Animal Liberation Front broke in and freed the horses off the merry-go-round. Come on, this is all you're getting tonight. But a lot of people have been saying to me, you know, why do a live show? In fact, my brain's saying it to me now. Why are you doing a live show? You know what happened the last time. Can't tell you what my bum's doing. And, but if you're wondering what's going to happen, right, if anything goes wrong tonight, which it won't, will it, Paul? We actually have a diversion for you to look at. We actually have got the Potter's Wheel. So if you see him at any point during the show, you know there's been a big cock-up, okay? But the real reason for doing a live show on TV, I suppose, is so that it can be topical. You know, you got to be topical. Okay, topical. Right, topical. It's been cold recently. There's no joke here, it's just been cold. Okay, you want topical? Here's topical, right? I saw in the papers this week that Liz Taylor might get married again. Can you believe that? She's been married so many times that the last 2 honeymoons overlapped. Also, I read that chivalry isn't dead in America. This week on a New York subway train, a man stood up and offered a lady his gun. Had an exhausting time over the Christmas. I had to do this job, you know. I was shoveling snow out of Stacey Keach's nose. New Year's been disappointing, though, especially the New Year's honours list. Did you see that? Daley Thompson didn't get one. I couldn't believe it, and I watched the Olympics, and Daley won everything. He deserved at least a knighthood. Or, you know, King Daley. Just took your forelock when you talk to me, you know what I mean? See, I'll tell you why he didn't get an honour, right? That's because he said he wanted to marry Princess Anne, right? I mean, it was only a joke, for God's sake. Mark Phillips said the same thing a few years ago. She took him bloody seriously. But the highlight of 1984 for me was the Olympics, and it was dead good. Don't the Americans think up some strange events? I mean, come on, synchronised swimming. What you actually got was 2 women in a pool looking stupid and drowning at exactly the same time. It was great when Britain won something, though, wasn't it? I mean, our commentators went mental. Daley Thompson, he's nearly there, he's nearly there, he's nearly there. Yes, he's got his tracksuit off. The Americans won so many medals, they were really blasé, you know. What, did we get something else? You mean the black guy in 100 meters won something? Terrific. A lot of black athletes, weren't there? I saw one race. There was France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Holland, England, 3 from the USA, 1 from Nigeria. They were all black. It was great because if one of them won, it didn't matter. They were really pleased for each other, you know. Hey, my brother, well done. I beat you this time, but never mind. Come back to my house, we smoke some ganja. Hey, bro, I don't mind if I do. I'll race you there. See who wins that sucker, Jack. And, the one thing I did, trying to get the timing going, the one thing I did notice about the Olympics was that boxers talk the same whatever part of the world they come from. It's true, like in England, we got Frank Bruno go, well, you know what I mean, Harry. I went in the ring, Harry, you know what I mean? I was moving and everything, Harry, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, Harry, this geezer bloody hit me, you know what I mean? And I couldn't believe it, Harry, you know what I mean? If I'd have known it was going to hit me, I wouldn't have gone in there, Harry, you know what I mean? And the American comes on and goes, wow, I went in the ring, Harry. I went in the ring, Harry. I was going to jab, Harry, I was going to jab, Harry. And the dude hit me so hard, my brain came out of my nose. And even the Japanese one, he's the same. He comes on and goes, Harry, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Dangerous Brothers. Dangerous Brothers! My name... Do the thing, Britain! All right, I'll do the talking. My name... He will do the talking! My name is Richard Dangerous, and this is Sir Adrian Dangerous. Unusually dangerous, I trust you'll agree. Yes, we are in Dangerland. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's wet our danger buds as Sir Adrian teases us with some unusually dangerous bicycling. Sir Adrian! I have got no brakes! No brakes! No brakes! No brakes! No brakes! Are you all right, Sir Adrian? No. Indestructible. I think I'm breaking my neck. Get up. Moving swiftly along. Get up. Get up. Get up. Can't get up. Get up or I'll fork your doogies. I'm up. your breath, ladies and gentlemen, for part 2 of tonight's World of Danger, as we take you on a murky trip through the twilight world of Dante's Towering Inferno.
Ha-ha! Towering Inferno!
Marcel, the petrol!
Thank you.
Shut up and get on the chair!
Shut up and get on the chair!
Shut up and get on the chair!
Shut up and get on the chair! Shut up and get on the chair! Shut up!
Now you keep quiet while I set fire to you.
Yes. Everybody keep quiet while he sets fire to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, my impression of Dante's classic film, The Towering Inferno. Music, please. I might advise viewers at home not to try this trick, as it invariably ends in death. This is why Sir Adrian Dangerous has been volunteered. Try and look like a hotel, for heaven's sake.
Going up.
And now, the moment of truth. It's revolting.
That's not me.
What have you been eating?
Doggy do.
Doggy do?
Yeah, I did it for a bet.
A bet?
Yeah. I thought, I bet that tastes disgusting. And it did.
Well, it's absolutely repulsive. And it's also a serious fire hazard. Look.
You bastard! You bastard wouldn't do that! You're ruining your face! My bloody trousers! Stop! Well, viewers, can you spot what went wrong? Yes, that's right. I should never have allowed my partner to pour petrol all over me and then set me on fire. What I should have done...
Wait. What are you talking about?
I'm just talking to the people.
Shut up!
Excuse me, just one. Excuse us. It's gone. Oh, good. Right, well. Things seem to be going very swimmingly. Well. Let's look at the video of me recording my new hit single.
And the piano. And get to the climax.
Climax. Right.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the climax of tonight's entertainment, where the lovely pouting Sir Adrian Dangerous will hurl himself deliberately off the apex of this strange and interesting office.
No, off the top.
Oh yes, off the top.
Tapping on every window.
Tapping on every window.
And saying, hello, beauty, to every secretary I pass on my descent of fate.
And saying, hello, hello, what are you doing? We are actually in Dangerland. This is the flight path to Heathrow Airport.